This is Mindcrack Gold, a fanfic by KaChi42 and Eilstina from the Mindcrack subreddit. Mr. Wilson finished up the work at his computer and checked the clock. He jumped from his seat. The kids were having snack, and he completely forgot that there was a new one joining today. He stood at the front of the class and said over the noise, "I think you guys have had plenty of time for your snack, so put it away and take a seat." Most of them followed the instructions. However, Jenny was sitting in the desk next to B-Dubs, which was Michael's seat. Michael went to Mr. Wilson. "Wes," he complained, "Generic is sitting in my seat." Mr. Wilson walked over to the desk in question and looked down at Generic. "Jenny, I thought I said go to your desks." "No," B-Dubs piped up. "You said take a seat." "Yeah, I am in a seat," Jenny added, holding back laughter. "This is," Mr. Wilson paused, looking at the kid who had called him over, dreading having to say the kid's name. He knew it, but it was hard to pronounce. "Cal's desk." "Michael," Michael muttered sadly. Jenny and B-Dubs giggled as Jenny went back to his seat next to Pyro. Wessie, getting serious," Pyro commented. There was a knock at the door, and Mr. Wilson headed toward the back of the class where the door was. He passed by Baj, who was still nibbling on his snack, and said, "Put it away, Baj." He then opened the door to see Principal Dinnerbone with the new student he had been told was coming. Mr. Wilson knelt down to face the boy at eye level. "Welcome. I am Mr. Wilson." "I'm Oh My God Chad," he said shyly, "but people just call me Chad." "Let me introduce you to the class," Mr. Wilson said, getting up and gesturing for the child to enter. He then turned to the principal and thanked him. As Mr. Wilson followed the student to the front of the classroom, he overheard Pause and Pause whispering loudly to Vex. "Why is his hair so red?" "Class," Mr. Wilson said, drawing their attention back to the front. "Yes, Wessie, Nebbers commented. Mr. Wilson ignored the comment and continued. "This is our new student, Chad. Is there anything you want to share with the class about yourself?" Chad stammered, before laughing to fill the space. "Not really." Mr. Wilson chimed in. "Okay. Well, I guess you can take your seat next to Aurelian." He pointed her out, even though she was the only female in the classroom. "And Ari, if you can help him catch up on the project we are working on." Ari smiled and nodded excitedly as Chad came to take the seat next to her. It was picture day, and Mr. Wilson had to keep them all neat for 3 hours. He watched everyone walk in, most dolled up, most likely by their parents for their picture. However, 2 students were dressed casually. He looked through the pictures ordered and saw that Allington, Etho, Vex had never turned in their picture forms. He called over Etho and Vex because Adlington was absent. "I noticed neither of you have turned in your picture forms. Do you have them with you today?" he asked. Etho was the first to speak. "Well, I don't know about him, but I'm not getting my picture taken today." "Neither am I," said Vex. "You both have to, even if your parents didn't order any. You'll still need one for the yearbook," Mr. Wilson explained. "No, I don't. I haven't been in any of the yearbooks," Etho smiled proudly. "That's not possible," Mr. Wilson commented before getting back on the track. "But you will have to." "We will," Vex said before Etho could say anything, and then pulled him away, smiling. "I am not getting my picture taking," Etho protested when Vex finally stopped at the back of the bathroom. Vex shushed him and explained quietly. "We aren't going to. As the class is walking down to the gym, we just sneak off and hide in the bathroom." Etho smiled. "I like it." As they were plotting, Mr. Wilson was searching through the school files, looking at previous yearbook photos of Etho. Just as he had said, there were no photos of Etho in any of the past 4 yearbooks. So he checked on Vex and Adlington, and the same was true for them. He couldn't figure out how, but they had all managed to avoid their photo ever being in a yearbook. As he was searching, Ari came over to his desk and asked him a question. Before she did, she asked, "What are you looking at?" "Oh, nothing," Mr. Wilson said. "I just heard a rumor that I was checking out." "What rumor?" she said, now curious. That Ethel, Vex, Adlington had never been in any of the yearbooks. Ari thought for a moment. "That can't be right. I'm sure I've seen Vex in one before." She then shrugged. "But I could be wrong. Anyway, are we going to get our pictures taken before recess?" "Yes," Mr. Wilson answered. "Good. I don't want Vex throwing any dirt on my dress or anything." Ethel and Seth Bling walked into the classroom after school. Doc, Jenny, and Adlington were already sitting there. As Ethel and Seth joined them, Mr. Grum walked in and announced, "Good, you are all here. Seth Bling was telling me that for the science club today, he wanted to work with electronics." "Yeah, especially tea flip-flops," Seth piped up. Across the hall, another club was in session. This one was specifically for the kids whose parents couldn't pick them up directly after school. They just played games together. Today, they were playing hide-and-seek. Co and Chad were seekers, while Milby, Good, Paz, and Pyro were hiding. Mr. Wilson was sitting in his chair, reading the newspaper, silently wishing one of them would invite him to play. As Chad was looking around, he noticed a shadow moving on the wall behind the bookshelf, which Mr. Wilson had recently moved. "Found you!" Chad shouted joyfully. "I see your shadow, Good!" "What?" Good said in reply, storming out from his hiding place. "You can't use shadows! That's cheating!" "Is not!" Chad yelled back. Down a few classrooms was the building club. Beef rushed inside, already late. Upon entry, he was greeted by Arcus, B-Dubs, Packrat, and Zisto. Today they were building bridges out of balsa wood. As per usual, Zisto's was way too big. Z, you may want to slow down," Pat commented. "Nah, it's fine," Zisto replied, grabbing a chair so he could reach the top of the structure. Near Zisto's crazy monument, Kurt was moving the heating lamp so he could feed Speedy the turtle, who he had donated to the school early in the year. As he fed the turtle, the heating lamp heated the wood, which was now faced, causing his bridge to burst in the flame. Chaos followed. Pack was facing away, and as he turned, his hair hit the fire and started to burn too. This caused Pack to turn around again, hitting Beef in the face. This in turn caused Beef's magnificent beard to catch on fire as well. Arcus and B-Dubs both grabbed their bridges and retreated away to keep their projects safe. Just as this happens, Gisano walks in, having heard the commotion. Armed with a fire extinguisher, and immediately jumped into action. He first sprayed down the source, and then turned to the two burning boys and doused them with foam. Once the fire was out, Zisto cried, "My bridge! You destroyed my bridge!" "Your bridge? What about my beard?" Beef sobbed, feeling his now misshapen facial hair. "Dude, you don't even have a beard. You're 10, for God's sake," Pat groaned. The bell rang for recess while Mr. Wilson was still teaching a lesson, and all the kids were bouncing in their seats, ready to get outside. He sighed. "Before I let you go, I'd like to remind you all your project is due in a week." Severus raised his hand. "Wes, what if we're already finished it?" Anders turned around to look at him. "How in the world are you done it already?" Sev shrugged, and Ari asked from across the room, "Do you ever sleep?" "Sleep? What sleep?" Sev joked. Mr. Wilson interrupted. "I am sure you can think of something to add onto it. Turn it in when it's due. Now everyone, go out to recess." All the kids jumped up, immediately gravitating towards their friends, and headed outside. BTC headed over to his usual spot, right next to the swings. He began to do push-ups. Several girls were watching him and giggling. As he moved to do pull-ups, Kurt walked by. "Where are you off to?" he asked. "I don't know," said Kurt. "Just gonna walk around for a bit." "Don't you do that every day?" Yeah, wanna join me?" BTC chuckled. "No, but have fun." Suit yourself, Kurt said, walking away. Kurt walked past MC Gamer and Milby, who were sitting on the ground giggling at something. Both had snuck paper out and a marker each. The only color either of them was able to grab was orange. What are we supposed to make of this? MC asked. Milby had thought for a second before saying in a very serious tone, Shape! With orange wool! Over by the edge of the woods, Paul Soares Jr. was exploring. While in the small field between the woods and the playground, the Jims and Avidia were laying on their backs, watching that cloud, talking in their really deep, soothing, 5th grade voices. And that was Mindcrack Gold by Eilstina and KaChi42. Sorry if I've pronounced your words wrong or your names wrong, but I really enjoyed reading that, and I hope they continue to write some more fan fiction. Please go over to the Mindcrack subreddit and check out the story. I'll link it in the description below, and have a good night, boys and girls. Bye-bye!